Marshall is that guy.
Marshall,
No, he's
find yourself
also a
a good
Libra. I'm telling you, I'm married to one. And Libras are like that. They like to spend their life being like outwardly perfect. I'm married to one. Trust me, I know him to a T. When I saw him, I was like, ooh, he's giving Chia energy a little bit. Like, it's heavy on the, like, I'm just so happy. I'm perfect. I'm doing everything for you. Nothing's wrong with me. It's you. I'm just here to love you. Like, that's bullshit. He got some mommy issues or something going on underneath there. I know it. I seen it.
Well, I'm not agreeing with you on that. I really love Marshall.
Are any of the people on Love is Blind mothers?
Mothers?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, welcome back to the Mama's Day.
Sorry.
There we go.
Shit.
Oh, there we go.
See, I'm sorry. This season of Love is Blind is really
Mama
weird.
Laurie did not come all the way down here for this.
Oh, we
Okay.
should.
Okay. Peace and Zen's grandmama did not come all the way down here for this.
What show?
Yeah, what do the kids call you?
Oh, they call me mom.
Oh, that's cute.
Peace made it up.
Yeah, she just randomly
something
said
random.
Oh, that's cute.
Mama.
It's cute when it's made up.
Yeah,
Not
it
when
was
the
mom.
grandmother
It
says,
wasn't
"Call me
like
mom.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a different day.
Mama.
Oh, we need to have your mom back on.
mama.
No, my mama's sugar.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know who my mama is. Anywho.
Also, can we point out that Fee's mom is tatted up too, and I love that. I just love you. I do.
thank
Your mom is
you.
so
I think
cool.
my mom. Well,
Thank you.
We were beating you in tattoos, and then all of a sudden you just came out the woodwork. You and my dad.
Oh, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I started this. I'm gonna end this.
No, she told me.
And
right,
she told
like,
me, "Oh, this isn't a race." I said, "I got another tattoo." She said, "Oh, you think this is a race?"
No, I don't think I told you that. I think my sister told you that because I'm done.
No,
I
you
think I'm
said
done.
something. It was hilarious.
No, you said you're gonna get a tattoo on your neck, mother.
Oh,
Oh, I want a cute little peekaboo back here.
Yes,
Mom.
She described it as she described it as a going down like a dragon or something crazy.
No, I don't want a dragon. on
Oh,
me.
okay. Thank Jesus.
No, no. I just kind of wanted a little peekaboo right here.
How many tattoos
Just like
do you
little,
have?
little.
You don't even know, child.
I'm covered. I'm covered.
You have them on your
one
legs?
on her
Okay, is there
So
somewhere
wait.
you don't have a tattoo outside of your neck that you have them on your
So
legs?
I'm covered. Okay, to keep it, I'm very transparent. So I started with my vagina. I'm just kidding.
Wait, I stopped. Like, wait, what? I'm like, I thought you were about to say booty.
No, so I was 14, thinking I was grown in San Jose. I was raised in the Bay Area.
Hey, guy.
And, I was
Shout out to the
14. I got my first tattoo. Right here. It's ugly.
on your
It's
finger,
supposed to be a rose.
So on your finger, it was a rose. Was
rose.
it a rose then?
It was a rose then, and now it's like a
Blob.
something.
Call it what it is.
Yeah, a blob. And so I
Blob,
thought it
tie-dye
was
blob.
cool because it's on the middle finger. And, I was kind of like a little rebel. You can
Yeah,
flip people
yeah.
off or whatever.
She's
That's
going
some
like
Bay
this
Area
with the rose.
with the rose.
Yeah. And so it's never kind of ended. And then I'm just recently retired law enforcement. So we are very tatted in my field. It's
Mom,
like,
when did you get the last
okay.
one? Girl, 2 weeks ago. I think. That's why
Wait.
I'm laughing.
No. It was this one, my lion.
She's
right?
like 3 weeks.
I had to get my
that's
lion
pretty.
because
Yeah,
I'm a
I
Leo.
saw that.
I had to get the lion.
Ooh, it's the Leo energy.
It's the Leo energy.
I had to.
Really pretty.
So this was 2022.
I love that.
Last
That's
year.
beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, 2022 is.
When did
At
you,
least my
Felicia?
Don't hate on my
Felicia,
work.
when
Don't
did you
hate.
get your first one?
So this is actually very funny.
Oh no, this is where I'm gonna get annoyed because she wasn't supposed to be getting tattoos.
I was.
And she was hiding them behind bracelets and all kinds of
not
stuff.
bracelets.
I was just doing what I saw. Okay, so I didn't know that you got your first one at 14 because I
was
got this
14.
one. I think when I was 15.
Oh wow.
No. I have.
Who's
I got the one
taking
on-
y'all?
one on
Can
my
you
back.
do this at
First of
14
all,
or
this
15?
woman that I went to, I was hanging in with my little hood friends. Same thing. I was following. Just kidding. But no, I was hanging out with one of my homegirls. She was in college, and we went to honestly, this lady was like an ex-convict, like for sure.
Yeah.
She was in the house. She was all tatted. She was like a chola. And she just had a gun, and it looks horrible. It's on my back. But I was like 14, 15.
No, she did good work, but it was
hate
like
the
you
one on my
hid
back,
that
though.
stuff forever.
Wait. The
like a
one
little
on your
hummingbird.
wrist that you just showed us.
This
that
was my second one.
Okay. The
My
one on
first
your
one
back was
here.
first.
Yeah. But it's like a little hummingbird.
So
and
did
then
you
I had
hate it
somebody
then?
expand.
Like when you got it, you were like, oh my God.
What? I was so cool. I was like, and then I remember my English teacher being like, put it away. Like being really mad at me. Just judging. And I'm like,
I just couldn't even imagine trying to put myself in a situation to feel pain at 14 like that.
Right.
I think I saw them though. My mom and my dad. Both of them were like,
Well, I didn't
all of
know
them tatted. And then Adam, my brother too.
You were 15?
No, I think I was 14, Mom. I don't think I was 15.
No, high school.
But okay, wait. Y'all going so fast. So you got the tattoo. She did not know.
No, of course not.
So when did you find out about
No,
this one?
because I don't know, because this little girl, it was very conservative attire, so you wouldn't know. Like belly button had to be covered, stuff be covered. So she must have been just sleeping in a shirt forever. I would never known. And then very like modest. Felicia's very modest. So, get out the shower, covered up, already dressed, ready to go. Well, now I know.
I think I was putting a wristband on. You know the little sweatbands? That we play basketball? Girl, I'm going to play nobody's sport.
That's hilarious because that's not small.
Fashion.
The wrist one is not small.
Not at all.
I remember she had, maybe that was covered like a Swatch watch or something.
Yeah,
I think it was a Swatch watch back then.
Flat bracelet.
So you said she was modest. What age was it where you stopped like not looking at her body? But I feel like, my oldest is 14. I think she was maybe like 6 or 7 when she started taking showers by herself. And I mean, I would obviously see her whole body. And then it got to a point where she was like, I don't want you guys looking at my body. Like I used to wash her hair in the shower. And so I had to start washing in the sink, or she would put a bikini on, She was like, I don't want you or daddy looking at my body. Yeah, she was 7. She's like 6 or 7. So then I guess with her, you said she would just get dressed. I'm trying to think, like, when do you stop, like, checking, I guess, your kids? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like to be like, do you got a tattoo or a belly ring or something?
Or a rash, like anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I think a mother knows what's going on with her kid.
Yeah.
And so, like, Felicia was very independent, very young, and knew how to wash and bathe herself. And I didn't need to be like, did you take a shower or not? She was good. What was being questioned, too, was like, what's happening? Like, sex is a big thing. What are we doing with that? But I think what got her out of those questions and things was that she had a really difficult menstrual cycle, which allowed her to be on the pill to help her alleviate the pain and the suffering from that.
Mom, it's giving you're describing me as like a hoe at a young age.
I mean, so
Not
like,
at all. Not at all.
So you're
like,
saying the
so we
worry for you
skipped-
was gone because
So-
you
like,
were on the pill.
So I think that it allowed me to probably skip those questions.
Okay.
Because to me, she was very, very good kid. I thought she did everything that I wanted her to do. But then you found out you were breaking out of windows.
I told her.
Start breaking out of the
I told
bedroom
her,
windows.
no, I literally told her like a couple weeks ago. I was like, Mom, I remember it was by the time I got to high school, I liked to party, but I was like the same I am now. I like to turn up and then I like to go home. I don't need to do nothing extra. Like you have your DD like friend or whatever. But I remember there was a specific party. It was like the biggest, and I hung out with college students when I was a senior in high school. I've always hung out with like older. And I remember I was so thirsty to go out. This was, I snuck out often my senior year, but there was a specific party. It was New Year's Eve and the whole town was talking about it. And she was like, you're grounded. I did something stupid. And she was like, you're grounded. And I called my my college boyfriend, and I was like, look, I'm about to jump from the second floor, the second story. And I was like, jump in my stepdad's truck, like the bed of the truck. And I was like, and then just like put like, I don't know, like pillows or something, bring something soft so I can land. I was out.
But wait, how did you get back in?
Never known.
The front door. I just had to always make sure that I was back before she
woke up.
Yes, because she would wake up at like 5 a.m. to go. So I had to be back by 3:30. Like,
So she couldn't see you leave or come in. So you had to leave while she was awake through the window.
no, I always made sure she was asleep.
So
if
why
she-
not just go through the front door if she's
because
asleep?
I felt like she would have heard it. Well, there were some times that I did do front door, but if not, then it would be like, oh, out of a window or something. Yeah, because she's like a
Out
light
of a
sleeper.
second
would've
story
never known.
window.
Okay,
You
so-
trusted her.
Okay, so now let me...
100%.
Because I was still coming back with straight A's.
Possible.
I was I had my job. I was doing my thing.
But too, she also kind of told on herself, which was a serious blessing. I remember one time she went out, and I think it may have been the first time she like smoked weed or something like that and drank and did this stuff, and she just felt like she was so bad. But she came back home and she was sitting on the stairs.
oh my God, I remember this.
And-
This is crazy.
I'm like, what's wrong with this girl? Next thing you know, she's like, I don't know what happened, but I think like the Holy Spirit came to me and told me I shouldn't be drinking, and I was smoking weed, Mom, and I was doing this. So Felicia told on herself all the time.
I'm peace.
wait,
It's peace.
She
I was like, it's
always
peace.
told on
This is
myself,
me.
And the Holy Spirit just came and it just told me, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I said, and what else were you doing? Mom, I was smoking weed and they were smoking weed and they were doing this and they were doing that and I got a tattoo and I got this and I got that.
She told it all.
So she was a good kid, but it's like she always told on herself.
I am peace and zen.
That's
And the
hilarious.
window stuff, I didn't know it was her. I thought it was her brother. I bet you her brother taught her.
No, I learned from Melinda. You know what we used to do? When I was in high school, one of my homegirls that lived in Modesto, which is like the bigger city. So me, her, and her older sister, Shanette, I would be like, Mom, I'm going to go spend the night at Melinda's house. We would sneak out and we would be out until like 6 a.m. and we would sneak out the window. So that's where I learned that from, was the homegirl.
Oh, my kids are never
Shout out to the
going
home.
anywhere.
But she told on herself all the time. So that was a good thing. It wasn't very challenging.
I'm so confused.
Wait, I have questions. I have questions.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so when you find out that Felicia is doing things that you didn't want her to do, or she's telling on herself, or she gets caught,
Yes.
how did you handle like discipline? Like, what was your approach?
Extremely 0 to 100. I was a yeller. I was a screamer. I was a hands-on. So she knew to get the hell out as fast as you can because my mom's going to snatch me up.
By the
I am
ponytail.
So you would spill all the
heck
tea
up.
and then run away?
No. If I spilled the tea, I wouldn't get in trouble.
Right.
But if I did something I knew
yeah,
I shouldn't,
and got caught.
I was the kid out of me, my brother, my sister. I stayed out the way as much as possible. But my human side would come out sometimes.
Are you the
But,
middle
like,
child?
My human
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. She was, kind of like, she was very responsible. However, she would mess up here and there, but I'd always be like, okay, she knew, let's go run and hide. And she did have a stepdad that she hid behind. And he protected her a lot. That was super annoying because I grounded her from homecoming.
Woo!
You didn't go to homecoming?
I grounded her
I was
from, and she
homecoming
was a
queen.
homecoming queen, and I didn't care.
I said, he said, I'm going.
And I didn't go to her party. I didn't go to
She
her
was so
little
mad.
celebrations, nothing.
Yo,
And she
you and my
went to-
mom are so similar.
And this man paid for her a $300 haircut, a $500 dress,
$600
and I
dress.
was even that was even more of a trigger to divorce him. I said, no, he's not on my team. I got to get rid of him. But she hid behind him, and he protected her. So he helped.
Enable.
He helped, and I was the one that was constantly no, and he was like, on the down low, yes, and I was like, wait, what? But no, she was grounded from the homecoming, grounded from everything,
And she still went.
She still went.
and I wouldn't have got her a car. She comes home, and what did James get you?
a car.
Brand new
But
car.
okay,
I'm
so
like, that's not what I would have done.
No. But to be fair, I was not doing good in school. It was like my sophomore year of my junior year of high school. I was like, can I get a car? Everybody had a car because we were at that age or whatever. And my mom was like, no, she can't get a car. So my stepdad pulled me to the side and was like, look, I'll let you have a car if you show me that you can get a 3.0 and above, and you have to pay for your car insurance. So I just kept telling him, I was like, I can't do it. Like, I don't know if I can do it. I can do it. And he was like, I want you to try. You have to try. That year, I had like a 4.0. And he was like, this is why I wanted you to do it. You needed something to be able to see. But I told my mom at the time, that was one of like the biggest blessings of like, wait, if I can get a 4.0 and I can get the car and do this, I can do anything. So I really used that confidence in that moment just throughout life to get me where I'm at now. I mean, obviously with other things, but it was never a like, oh, just do what you want. It was always like we had an agreement. Like, look, you got to do this if you want this. It wasn't like, I'm just going to give it to you.
How
you know?
would you feel if someone did that?
I was about to say the same thing.
Oh, they not doing that.
What if your boo
That's
was
out.
doing that with your kids though?
That's
Every time
out.
you tell them no, then he's going behind their back.
I'm
Like,
divorcing him.
Well,
I'm doing
Well,
exactly what
and
she
that's
did.
also the reason why, unfortunately, that's why I was married him, because I knew he was a provider. There was a lot of good, but there was definitely consequences. So, no, she knew, run away from me.
Yeah.
Mama's going to get me. I didn't care.
Now let's be clear.
No.
Felicia's mom she's a young mama. Felicia's mom could be my big sister,
girl, you like
right?
4 years
so
older than
how
me.
do you feel like that played into your relationship?
Yeah, wait,
her.
sorry, well, I'll just say how old y'all are. Both of you. Because Felicia, I never know, baby child.
I'm 32.
And so I'm 50. So I had Felicia at 18.
Okay.
So my
And
son.
my brother's best be 34.
Yeah, I was pregnant at 16. So I was a young mother. But in my head, I was a grown woman. So we were never friends. It was boundaries from the gate.
Child.
You're my child. And then I was a single parent. And in being a single parent, it was like, there's things we got to do. Everything was like structure. So they were very independent, very young. Felicia was a little more responsible than her older brother and younger sister. So she had a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Which created resentment. However, it's what's made her who she is today, you know, as a woman. But I never felt, only until recently, it's like, my daughter's cool. We can go to functions. We can have alcohol together. None of that stuff was ever okay. Like,
Yeah, no.
I
not
always
the homie.
felt like just because
At all.
I'm young, I'm not.
Yeah, no.
I'm not young. I'm your mother. It was
Yeah.
like I am your mother. And I'm gonna carry myself. So I'm gonna carry myself. We were never like, and I would tell her, I'm not your friend, and which hurt her feelings for so long.
Yeah. My mom would say the same thing. I'm not one of your little friends. Ashley said the same thing about him. I'm not one of your little friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she kind of, realized as the older she got, I think maybe confused because I was young. And she's like, look at my mom like, okay, my mom is young or she's cool, whatever. And I don't even see any of that. I'm just like, okay, you want to have an attitude or whatever because we're not vibing. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. So now there's that respect.
Was your mom like that with you as well? Like, was she very strict? Is that where you got that from?
Same kind of story. Mom was a single parent. And, you didn't mess with mom. You did what you were told. You came in when the street lights were on. We were very independent, very free, but we were good for our mom. We didn't want to give her problems. Two, because we didn't want the shoes to hit us in the back of the head. And, you were respectful.
Do you have a young mom too? What's your
My
mom?
mom was 18, yes,
Okay.
when she had me. Yeah.
And Melanie, how old was your mom? Oh, she was young too.
My mom was 19 and married and a mom and a wife.
Because
19.
I mean, I'm like hearing. First off, I'm like hearing how similar I am to my mom in this moment, and trying to like wrap my head around like what is the similarity, what are the differences, and like my mom had me at 31.
Yeah.
I had my first at 32 or something, and I'm very much like. For sure, she gave me alcohol when I was 11, like stuff like that. Like my mom she's not anti the friend, like that. She's okay with that, but she was also like, I'm gonna be mom, but I'm also like, I'm gonna introduce things to you so that you don't do it elsewhere, and that's 100% how I think. Yeah. So I just in hearing that, it's just interesting.
We did some of that, but it wasn't often. So when we go camping, it was, I'll have beer or what was it, wine cooler?
Yeah, like something
silly.
light, yeah.
And then I would say, you guys can have that one. Yeah, one of them. This girl never wanted to do anything. It was no big deal. It's like, here's a wine cooler. You have one. And of course, my son was like, oh, we're gonna have a wine cooler.
No, Natalie too.
And my younger daughter, yeah, we can. But it was like not an issue. But we did have that kind of thing. Maybe if there's a holiday and everybody was
Toasting
drinking wine, yes. And it's funny because I reflect back to like my grandmother, my great grandmother, or something, a holiday. It was like, here's a little bit of champagne for you guys too. Yeah. But Felicia was never interested in any. Not interested in anything.
Yeah.
They very independent and couldn't be easily swayed to do anything.
It's interesting because when you brought that up, I'm thinking that maybe because your moms were younger or you were younger, that makes you more strict because you feel like I'm a young parent. And that gives you like a sense of insecurity. So you feel like you have to be stricter because you don't want your children running over you. And then when you're a single mom, like in your instance with my mom was the same way I was just like Felicia. I kind of can look at something and be like, I'm not doing that because I can see the reaction with my mom, with my siblings. And I'm also a middle child. So maybe that has something to do with it. I think middle children innately are just like more mature and like they see the oldest and the youngest. They're like, nah, I'm just going to not do any of that stuff. But I think my mom said she felt like she had to be really strict because she was a single mom because she was like, there was no one in there to like tag team me. So like, I'm not about to let these kids, like run all over me. I think I'm more lenient because I have a partner and I have somebody to tag me out. So I don't have to be that strict with them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah. It's interesting. My mind is blown.
Yeah, you were never my friend.
Ooh.
But you guys seem to have such a good shout out. By the way, shout out to the collaboration, the photos that are so pretty of the two of you guys from Mindful Fee. So pretty.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Wait, so what do you think about Felicia as a mother now?
Well, I'm glad she's gonna get paid back. No, I'm just kidding.
Just stay talking about my
I'm like, it's about time. I am proud of her because she's so patient.
Oh.
I was not patient. It's like, do as I say, not say as I do. Like, and then when I see them now, it kind of cracks me up. Like I was watching Zen cleaning and organizing, and he's 4, and then I'm watching Peace mothering him, and they're all responsible. And it just is a reflection of the stuff that I taught her, and she's giving back. The one thing that I'm very grateful is that she's patient. And when Zen's talking about, like a temper tantrum, or Peace, this ugly face, long face, attitude, she's talking about, let's talk about it. And I gotta go. I need a timeout because I'm thinking, let's talk about it. There's not nothing to talk about. And then I'll see. And Easter, Peace was hot about whatever she was hot about. And then I noticed Felicia, and I wasn't born yesterday, but I see Felicia and Peace walking down the street.
I said, let's go on a walk.
And I'm like, okay, they said go on a walk. And I'm thinking, no, let's go in the backyard and get smacked around. But
she's so serious.
Right. And so I am just, so it's good because I'm glad that she's like that.
Yeah.
And then Peace is able to. And then, I embarrassed Peace. I didn't mean to embarrass her. But she's getting older, and I kind of mentioned something in front of like a best friend. And I guess she was devastated. Aww. And I didn't mean to devastate her, but it reminded me back, because it's the same best friend that is like Felicia's aunt, who would always tease Felicia. Peace handled it a little bit differently. So I had to say, Peace, I just want to let you know, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings or make you embarrassed or whatever. And she just almost started crying. And I hurried up and turned around and looked like, let's just keep it pushing. Like this didn't even happen. So like, just shake it. And that's one of my things. Like, I try not to make everything be so serious, but it's like all the heavy emotional stuff, I don't do well with that. So I'm glad she does, because I'm just like, can just turn it off and keep it pushing.
I feel like growing up, that part was very difficult for me because I'm so emotional. Yeah. And I also think that that's why I take so much time with Peace, because I'm like, I want you to really understand what's going on and to know that like what you're experiencing is valid, but it may not be the summary of it. Like, you know what I mean? Very similar to what we were talking about right before, is like you tell your kids as much as you can without being inappropriate or telling too much of the business. And it's like how they translate it. But I always try to, whenever I'm talking to Peace or Zen, more Peace, I try to really walk her all the way through what's going on. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, she doesn't understand, because we have so much dialogue and conversation. I do notice that there's a level of, what do you say? Like there's a comfortability there with her and I, to where she can say how she feels and it's allowed. You can't be disrespectful, but I want you to talk. So she'll sometimes, and again, that's me and her relationship. So she'll go out into the world and think that, she can talk to my mom or have that expressed the same way. And I had to tell her, I'm like, when we went on our walk, I was like, you have to understand that your grandmother and me, we're two different people. Yeah. You can show up with mommy and talk to mommy this way, but when it comes to other adults, you have to be respectful. Yeah. You have to learn to put filters on. And she was just like, I just don't understand. And I'm like, okay, well, so trying to teach her that too. Yeah.
But and then too, I think also, which is really funny, was, I'm not into the kids in your business type of thing. And I do remember this weekend, Peace is the only kid sitting in the chair. Here's Peace in the chair, and here's my mom, my sister, and my daughter. And we were all talking, and I'm thinking, Peace is over there on that iPad doing her thing, but yet she's ear hustling.
She's so nosy.
And her little butt ear hustling, and she said, what did my mom say? What did my mom do? And I looked at her and said, this is grown folks conversation. And I know I probably hurt her feelings, but it kind of made me laugh, because then later on I see her, she tell on me in the back room. So she's on FaceTime, telling on me. And I'm like, you can say whatever you need to say. Yeah. So I kind of chimed out, but, I was waiting for it to come up, which it never did come up, because I also, as, a grandparent, need to be supported. We were talking, we're not going to say ugly things. Yeah. However, this is still a little girl. Yeah. And there's things that you don't need to be around. And I know you think you're grown, but you're not.
I have to tell her that all the time.
So so you need to go. So she excused herself on her own. She wasn't told like, you're dismissed, get out. But she left. But then I saw her telling, because guess what I see? Felicia on the FaceTime and Peace on the FaceTime, and Felicia's saying, just go in the other room and go in your own energy. And I'm thinking, here she goes. I was like, oh, Peace told. I was like, how annoying. Go into your own energy. And I wanted to say, F your energy, and slam the door. But I told myself, okay, this is Easter. Be cool.
Easter. Not on Easter.
This is Easter. This is, be cool. It's not about you. Let her do her. And then I started laughing to myself, thinking she is just like her mother.
Yeah.
She is just like her mother.
That's why I'm always like, okay, Pete, I feel like I'm looking at the smaller version of me.
You were always in grown folks, but you knew not to chime in.
Yeah. This girl, I'm like, girl, you be telling on yourself. But also...
And you don't need to, like, what do you mean? Oh, my mom did what? I'm like, I thought you were playing your iPad.
Girl, they never play their iPad.
But that's why every single time, if I'm ever having an adult conversation, I'm always like, Peace, go in the other room. Or if she's doing something, I'm like, close the door, because she's so nosy, and I'm like, you are me. I know what this is.
Oh, but she was nosy.
Her other grandmother lets her be in the business, and I had to tell her all the time, like, stop talking about stuff in front, because then she comes back and has worry and anxiety about adult shit. That's how I was. I was chiming into things that I didn't need to chime into, knowing business that I didn't need to know. They didn't know that I knew, but I was like, oh my God, my mom is struggling. What the hell? But I shouldn't have even been listening, you know? So I'm constantly like, go in the other room. Like, it's girl.
It's a reflection of how close you are. When you see their relationship and you see how her and Peace speak, does it ever make you, or do you ever think about changing in that way? Maybe like, maybe I should talk to Peace more. Do you know what I mean? Like, does that encourage you to be that? Or you feel like I need to be the opposition and like give her this other type of love?
No, so Peace she's annoyed by me, which reminds me of Felicia.
That's the word she says.
So
annoyed.
but it's like, hi, Peace, how are you? How's everything going? Even saying that to Peace, I'm annoying her.
She thinks that she's coming for her or something.
How's school? How's this? How's that? Mom, you're asking too many questions. So she is like that with me. So I just am like, she reminds me of Felicia. Felicia was the same way. So I'm very patient. I'm not going to bombard you and be in your space. Come around when you feel like it. So next thing you know, she's on your lap. Hey, Mom, do you want to do this TikTok? Do you want to do this or that? Or this or that. So I just let her do her thing. I'm totally unbothered. I'm like, she's just a little girl. Let her go through her stuff. Right. Yeah. I just think Peace isn't like, she's just like that questions.
Yeah.
I don't want any questions. Well, what do you mean, my friends? I say, how's your friend? How's this? How's that? And she'll just look at me. Or how's the food? And she'll just look at me. So
it's like, why are you making all the small talk? I don't have time for this.
She doesn't want the small talk. Exactly. She want to get right to the making TikToks and doing arts and crafts. She's like, stop with the small talk. I don't have friends at school. I'm struggling with this right now.
Yeah, she's like that kid. And I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for you to come. It's okay.
So it also sounds like you guys mother very differently. Felicia, is there anything that you take from your mom's mothering into your relationship with your kids?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say teaching them independence, I think, and like, you got it. Like, you can help put these dishes in the dishwasher, or, push in your chair and wipe. Like, teaching them stuff like that is very important to me, because I just feel like I want them to model that when they go to other people's homes, and just like, I don't want to do it all. Yeah. I really don't. And yeah, that, and I think also just my mom always, whether you communicated like screaming or not, you always communicated in one way or the other. And I feel like the communication part is very important. And let's see, what's the last one? I'm like, gotta make this one good. I feel like unconditional love. Like, I feel like me and my brother and my sister were all three completely different people, but also I think it's all rooted in love. And I think that the way that you love us, I think when I was younger was a little bit hard to understand, but now as an adult, I appreciate it, because it comes with, I don't want to say it comes with expectation, but it's unconditional, but it's also hold you accountable. And I think that that's what true love is holding people accountable and helping them to see themselves at like their highest self. And I feel like I do that with my children a lot. But yeah, I would say those 3 things.
Yeah. And also both of you said that, well, you Mama Laurie said that I'm not your friend, right? While you were raising her. When did that change? Was there a moment or a day, or was it her getting pregnant? Like, when were you like, oh, we cool?
But I'm gonna let you answer.
It changed when Felicia woke up after the children, and she says, wait. And she, I think, saw me, and appreciated and started to be like, wait, my mom was this, my mom was that, my mom has been there. When she stopped comparing me to other people and really, like, she woke up and was like, wait, I had everything. Everything was provided. My mom did the best. When she had an understanding and an appreciation, that's when it all flipped. And I started to notice. And I honestly knew, I really started praying about it. I was like, God, are we always going to have an issue? Because there was a lot of times where just being in the presence, she was like, I'm done, you know, and I could never figure out what the issue was. And I knew later on in life that she would finally appreciate, you know, the older she got. But when I knew it would take her to have kids, go through relationships, just have more life things. And that was the biggest thing. Yeah. And then for her to see, you know, yeah, she was young when she left high school and she came out to LA, but I've always supported her in my way. But that doesn't mean I'm not paying your bills. I'm gonna support my kids' dreams. If I had one that said I'm gonna go be a professional hitchhiker, okay, well, let's go get you Glock certified.
Yeah, be safe.
We'll go get you Glock certified. You're gonna have a stun gun and you know a rope just in case you gotta tie him up. You know, but I'm like, I'm gonna support you the way that I know, because like I believed, you know, in her, and I knew eventually she'd come back around. Just, I think with Felicia, there was so much responsibility, so young, taking care of her siblings, and I got to be, you know, this good kid and do that. However, there was a lot of perks.
I think I told you guys this. Like,
she was getting her MAC makeup.
She would be like, "Let's go get an eyeshadow.
Let's go get the MAC makeups and the Victoria's."
I'm like, that's the perk.
And I kind of, you know, overcompensated with that. Okay, get a little extra money. Let's go take Felicia for this, because she was a babysitter. You know, she was the one you could trust and get in the
I feel like I was your co-parent. I don't think. Well, okay. I that might sound like very strong, but I definitely identify as like your like little mini co-parent. I was always.
How old is your sister?
My sister is 20. How old now?
26.
26.
Yeah.
My brother's 34, and my brother got into trouble like fairly early, and we had chores, and if Adam didn't do his chores, I knew she was gonna come home at 10 p.m. and be like, "Everybody wake up and do the chores." So I would be like, "Oh God, I got to do it all because my brother's not gonna do it." Yeah. So that, I think for me, that's when a lot of the, I would say, resentment started, was because there was so much responsibility at a young age that I felt like I couldn't catch a break, even though you would give me breaks in between, but I felt like they almost weren't long enough. But I think for me, where it switched and I started to look at you from a different lens was when me and the kid's father separated. I think that's when I was able to be like, oh fuck, this is really hard. And now I get why she did that and did this and acted like that. Like, it all started to make sense.
Now you know why I married that man. It took the relief off of you, the stress. Okay.
And that's why he had my back, because he was like, I already know. That's why I'm like, look, we had our little. Yeah, but no, I think that's where it started for sure. But I remember praying all the time, like, God, and you know how they have so there's like this little Creole thing where you take like the little, what do you call it? The pendulum? Yeah. And you take it, and it's like, if it
runs
goes,
your energy,
if it goes around, then it means yes, or if it goes back and forth, it's like no or something, whatever. And I remember I used to always take it. This was like before I was pregnant with Zen. So I had peace already. And I would go in the bathroom every night and I would pray to God. And then I would pull out my little Creole pendulum and I would be like, are we ever going to like make it like full circle? And it would always say yes. And I was like, okay, it's coming. Aww. And then so when it finally arrived, I was like, oh shit, this is what we asked God for, you know? I feel like I'm in the year of like completion, like completion with family, completion with both of my parents, completion with all of it. And I think that's also when me and my dad got closer too, is when me and their father separated, because my dad was like, oh shit, my daughter needs me. And what I essentially kind of put her mom through is now what she's going through. And now it's hitting differently. So I think everybody just had compassion and empathy and just really just understanding overall on a completely different level. Because now we're all experiencing each other's like shit, you know, and it just makes you kind of hold on a little bit tighter, at least for me.
Question. Who said it's a Creole thing?
All the Creole people.
So it's a pendulum, right?
Yeah.
However, that's probably your ancestors, because you know we got them witches in our bloodline.
Absolutely. We are Creole
I
through
am
and through.
so into this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tell people witches, I am a witch.
So that was
too.
probably just telling you something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm big on the ancestry. I feel like I'm
so that was your Aunt Black, who was a witch.
Oh, shout out to Aunt Black.
Aunt Black. Aunt Black got an answers. That's what we're calling. Okay,
kind of
now
scary,
I know who to put on the-
Yeah.
I love this witchery.
I know. Yeah, lots of witchery. We were just talking about that the other day.
The witchery stuff.
Mm-hmm. I tell my daughters we're in a coven all the time. I do it because each of them are element too. It really freaks their dad out, because I'll be like, oh, what do we need for our family? And I make everybody sit down and we hold hands and we like chant. He'll be like, what is happening? I'm like, I feel like it works. We got a house.
I think it does, because I feel like spirit and energy doesn't die. So it just like, I feel like it's everything rolls over like minutes. Like, you know, I'm like spirit and energy, and like you're like whatever. Rapper. Yeah, I'm like whatever. Verizon. Whatever.
What year is it?
I know the minutes roll over anymore. I think we have
nobody. Yeah, I think we're over
that.
Yeah, but I'm like, I feel like whatever your calling is, I feel like it's an ancestry, like generational thing. So whatever I'm doing, I don't think is anything new. I think that my ancestors before and before and before just passed the baton, and I'm just going as far as I can in this lifetime. And then I, you know, when I pass it to peace. And you know, so on and so forth. But that's how I feel.
I'm with it.
Yeah,
I love some witchcraft.
In my witch bag. Yeah.
Twin witch.
Proudly a witch. Proudly. Good witch. We're good witches.
Ooh, somebody's witch.
Somebody's witch.
Somebody's witch. Yes, for Halloween.
Halloween. Somebody's
Ashley got
really,
you.
We should do somebody's Creole mama.
No, I ain't Creole.
Yeah, just get in there. You're a witch. But no, the older that I get, I'm like, I just want to be like with my mom, probably like my grandmother. But like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. It's the number of completion.
Wait, this year you turned 33?
Yeah.
That's why
Jesus year?
Yes. That was like all the enlightenment for me too. Was that like that for you guys too?
Girl, I don't even remember 33.
I had a baby at 33.
I'll never forget 33. I feel like my whole life changed. Like I was really into it. Like, oh yeah, I'm about to be enlightened. And I was.
I think I met you at 33.
You did, see?
That's deep.
My whole life changed.
That's super deep.
See?
That's super deep.
It is. I was manifesting some positive energy. Yeah. I believe in that. I feel like you got to tap into that 33. Like,
yeah, I feel like I'm here.
I did it. I had a big healing year with my mom when I was 33 as well.
See?
Once I became a mother.
That's your Jesus year.
I had a healing moment with my mom when I became a mother at 33. Through this. Same thing, because similar. I'm listening to your relationship, and it's very similar. Like, so much love I had between my mom and I, but there was a lot of like that resentment of like, why'd you have to be so hard on me? Why'd you have to like, and it was when I became a mom, then I started to understand, like, I remember I had to take my mom aside and I was like, I want us to be cool. Like I had to tell her, it didn't happen right away, but I had to approach the conversation from a place of like, I'm somebody's mom now. And I am working to make sure that I have a healthy relationship with my child, but I need you to see me as a woman.
Yes.
And I need us to not be in a space where we're tense around each other and it makes other people feel tense. And I don't want, you know, my son or your grandkids to like feel or carry that energy. And it took a while. And I feel like my son is now 7 and my mom and I have such a better relationship now. But it took having that conversation of, oh, like, I don't want it to be like this anymore. Yeah. You know, like, because some people are just like, no, that's just the way my mom is. That's just the way my daughter is. And we're just going to be like that.
Yeah, no.
But I had a moment where I was like, I don't like this. I don't want it to be that way.
How did she respond to that?
She was fine. We cried about it and we still fought after that, for sure. Like, it didn't happen overnight, but she was very receptive to what it is. And I think old habits die hard. And I think that as the children become adults and parents, and I can honestly say, we've been witness to the process of Felicia and yours relationship healing.
Yeah.
Because Felicia has shared along the way how much she understands you, how much she loves you, like how much she understands what it is to be a mom overall and how difficult that can be. And so we've actually heard these conversations. Like, she shared it with us. It's just like, oh my God, I understand my mom so much more. She says it all the time, you know? And I think that that comes with age and experience, because even now, like, I see my mom with my dad and they're in like a completely separate, you know, phase of life. But my mom takes care of my dad in a way. I see Jared's mother be responsible for his dad. And I'm like, damn, moms, we just don't stop. Yeah. And so even from that perspective, I understand and have more grace and like empathy and understanding for my mom, even though it's not about kids anymore. It's just about women. Yeah. It's just about the role that the women have to play in all of their relationships.
Yeah. I feel like it does come down to women. Like, you remove all titles and it's like, I am a woman. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. But growing into it helps us to like really grasp what that means. You know what I mean? And I'm like, being a woman is a lot. I'm thankful. I wouldn't want to be a man by any means. I'm like fuck that. But it's a lot of responsibility. Yeah. And a lot of times it's a lot of responsibility. I mean, as we can all agree, the responsibility, a lot of it comes from like outside in society, but then naturally we just do it. Like, you know, it's just, we just show up in different ways. But yeah, it's a trip. I feel like you and your mom's relationship is only going to get deeper too the older that your daughter gets. Yes. You know, I feel like the older that piece gets, I feel like me and my mom get closer. I'll call, and before I complain to her about something that piece did, I say sorry. I'm like, Mom, I'm so sorry. And I just start laughing. And I'm just like, fuck. Like, because it'll be something and I just like, in those moments, like, let's say, like the other day, Peace like rolled her eyes. Do you know how bad I wanted to just turn into Lori and just be like, get over here,
snatch you up?
But I'm like, but I can't do it because I know I would traumatize this girl because I was traumatized. Yeah. But in those moments, and I'll be like, oh, okay, now I get it. Yeah, I probably did deserve to get slapped right there. That was the moment. Like, shit, you know. So but I just have to be like, all right, come on.
No, and then a lot of it is maturity. So could you imagine being, no excuse, but being tested as a younger mother?
No, hell no, I couldn't imagine. I would have slapped the shit out of me too.
You know, more wiser with being a little bit older. It's like,
this is why they tell you to wait to have kids.
Yeah, but then you're 70 picking them up from daycare. So
shut up.
Yeah, no.
Pros and cons. Pros and cons.
Choose your. I think 23 is cool. 23 is cool, right?
Sure. I mean, Amira's okay. I got pregnant at 23. I don't know.
Amira's okay too.
Well, we'll figure it out. I'll get back to you in 4 years. I got 4 more years to let you know how it worked out.
Oh my God, that's crazy to think about.
Well, Mama Laurie, we're so glad you came to visit us today.
Thank you. This is fun. This is nice.
This is so
Thank you.
I'm happy for you too. I love to see this evolution, and it's funny. They remind me of you and your mom too. It's very interesting. Yes.
My mom is the same thing. The thing that my mom says about like what she sees in me is like, Melanie is more patient with her kids than I was. My mom was like, I'm a yeller. I'm a snatch people. My mom was on the podcast talking about I beat children. Yes. There's a difference between abuse and spankings. I spank. Yes, I do. And my mom was like, you know, and again, like
she doubled
did
down.
Not double down, did not care. But the funny thing is that you said something that was similar too. She was just like, you said, sure, there were things that like I yelled and like I was firm and like I'm not your friend and I set boundaries and I was mom, but she turned out great. Yes. Right. And my mom says the same thing. My mom was like, listen, I'm not saying that what I did would have worked for everybody. She's like, but my kids turned out okay. Yeah. And she's like, and so I must have done something right.
Absolutely.
Even if I wasn't right all the time, something must have worked because they're good people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and Ashley actually brought that up to me too. Cause I was like, oh man, I'm like, they gonna come from my mama. And Ashley's just like, yeah, but what are they gonna say? Like, you turned out to be a great person.
You and your brother.
So she did something right.
Yes. Exactly.
So, you know, it's good to see that. But it's really nice to see because you guys are, my mom and I are, my mom is 67. She's about to be 67. So there's a larger gap. So it's just interesting to see that even though the age is closer, that your role, you still were like, because, you know, sometimes young moms feel the desire to, I'm a young mom, so I need to be a young mom.
Yeah.
But you were like, no, I'm your mom.
Yeah.
And I don't play no games. Yeah. I am the authority figure here. And it's just interesting to see that, like, regardless of age, there's that dynamic.
Yeah.
I feel like one more thing that reminded me of like the young mom thing. The more that me and my mom connect on things that we like, it's like we both like to skate. We both like makeup. We both like we are very, very similar, which is why I think we're at odds for a very long time growing up. But I noticed myself being like, I don't want to call my friends. I want to call my mom. I'm like, where are my friends at? Not obviously you guys are my sisters.
I know what you mean, but it's different
between sisters and friends. But yeah, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, how about you just call her? She's gonna give me the real. She's gonna give me like, she's gonna answer me with love and be protective. She's not gonna be a hater. Not saying okay,
Yeah, girl.
you all know what I'm trying to say.
No, we know what you mean. She's your safe space.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm about to just call her. Or if I was like, I want to go skating or grab a drink or something. What you doing? What are you doing this weekend? Come down. Yeah, I'm like, I just want to hang out with you. And I'm like, that's so tight to me.
Yeah, I think that's cool. And I even have what a lot of my friends compliment and say, wow, look at you and Felicia. Or,
it's
really
really
and
tight.
it is nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So many people. I'm like, damn, were we like super toxic? So many people are like, you, even my nail girl, she was like, girl, you and your mom, it's so beautiful to see how close you guys are getting. And I was like, oh, this makes me happy. But maybe we were just like,
Isn't it wild? Isn't it wild how you don't realize how other people see it too?
Girl.
Yeah.
And then they recognize the growth.
Oh,
like it's so because
everywhere
you
I
just
go, that's the
operating.
first thing that people say.
Well,
They're like, you and your mom.
I think a lot of it is like, I know for me, my kids are my kids, my daughter's, but I appeared to be so absent and disconnected from anything that she ever did. So I'm sure everybody's like, do you have a mom? And where is your mom? And or what's going on. So now to be able to be involved, like the photo shoot, it was so exciting. I was like, oh my God, you guys, please have me a photo shoot. I'm about to be a model.
She texted me the other day. Where's the contract?
I want extra.
Where's
with it.
we get an audition?
I was like, do we get a contract? Am I going to be in Target? I was all excited because now she's starting to incorporate me and so it's just it's a blessing. I'm grateful. Me too. Yeah, God is good.
So special.
God is good.
All the time. God is good. And the church says,
Amen.